As a connoisseur of trashy reality television shows, I have seen just about everything there was but one show, My 600-Pound Life. I came in with some preconceived notions about what the participants in the show would be like, and I was very surprised by some of the things I discovered. A lot of people on the show are either immobile or almost immobile and in extremely poor health, to the point where they aren't actively functioning in society. This means the majority of them do not work and are unable to leave their homes. Because of this, I assume the majority of them would probably be single. But I was wrong and surprised to find out that a lot of the people featured on the show are actually in long-term relationships. Everyone deserves to be loved and find someone with whom they can build a life. Surely these partners are helping to motivate their significant others to get healthy and live a productive life, right? While some of the people featured do have supportive, loving partners, I was taken aback by the sheer toxicity of some of the girlfriends and boyfriends on My 600-Pound Life. In this video, I'll be going over the most toxic partners featured on the show and classifying them into different camps. James K. and Lisa. This is the couple that infuriated me the most. James K. is completely bedbound and he relies on his girlfriend Lisa for everything from bathing to getting him all of his meals. Since he is immobile, he can't go get fast food for himself, but Lisa is more than willing to go get it for him. She could easily feed him a salad instead of a pizza, but she seems to enjoy overfeeding him. You might be thinking that Lisa is a feeder or just a passive enabler, but the truth actually seems much more sinister than that. Dr. Now does everything to try to separate the two. He tries reporting Lisa to Adult Protective Services unsuccessfully and has the nurses monitor Lisa while she visits James in the hospital because they suspect that she is sneaking him food since he seems to gain weight whenever she is around. Eventually, this concerning behavior leads to Dr. Now epically confronting Lisa for helping dig James's grave.
Why are you blaming it on her?
I know she bring you food. And don't tell me that she doesn't. You don't get up, go to kitchen, get it. Who brings you food?
I know what I eat.
No, you're in denial. You don't understand what your problem is. And we're trying to help you to make your life different. And
we
you
want
wanted
his
to
life
do it.
different.
No, you're the one that you're hurting him, okay?
I'm not hurting him. I haven't gave him no food. I done told you that. I'm tired of you accusing me.
Why do you explain his weight?
I don't know, Doctor, now, but I'm telling you right now, I have not gave him no food.
Okay, this
How does
is
she
all
lose 80 pounds
miracle,
in-
right?
No, it's not a miracle. His body doesn't burn calories.
Look, you don't think your weight has to do anything with your eating habit?
No, I don't.
So what do you think your weight come from, thin air? James, your weight is related to what you eat. If she stays away for 5 days, we'll have you lose 20 to 30 pounds. And once and for all, you will have all the proof you need that your weight gain isn't magic or water, it's Lisa.
Doctor, now, look, you told me that he was going to die. I'm not going to bring him food. The last time he was in the hospital,
All right,
sir, I
you're gonna
swear to
let
God,
me
I
help
did
him?
not bring him no food.
Okay, so stay away from him for 5 days, we'll see what happens.
Lisa's blank, soulless stare was pretty infuriating, and every time Dr. Now would question her, she would just play dumb or put the blame back on James. Don't get me wrong, James was just as responsible for his actions. There were so many memorable moments from this episode because of how delusional and toxic they both were. Her behavior on the show actually had fans speculating that she may have had something to gain financially if James were to die. I do think Lisa got to a point where she almost looked forward to him dying so that she wouldn't have to look after him anymore. She said, "I feel trapped because I can't leave and sometimes I don't want to stay. Sometimes I feel like as soon as he starts to walk, I'm gone." Since she knew that that would never happen again, she probably believed that his dying was the only way to get out of her being his caretaker. The saddest part of this episode was the fact that they had a daughter together, and she had to stand on the sidelines and watch her dad slowly die. James did end up dying in April of 2020 from kidney failure. Zaylin and Gareth. It becomes apparent right away that Gareth has a fetish for large women and he is unwilling to compromise his fetish, even for the sake of saving his wife's life. Zaylin becomes determined to lose the weight once she realizes that she may not have much time left with their daughter, Hannah, unless she makes some serious changes. Not only is Gareth not supportive, but he openly mocks his wife's efforts to get healthy and taunts her by eating food in front of her that she can't have, like bacon cheeseburgers and chips with queso. He also threatens her with divorce if she continues to lose the weight. Gareth is cruel and self-centered and cares more about his own pleasure than he does about Zaylen's health or their daughter's well-being.
You know, he talks about it's not that he will not be sexually attracted to me, it's that I'll be repulsive to him.
You know, why settle for a hot dog when you can have a steak?
At one point during the episode, even Hannah asks her mother, "Why did you marry him?" referring to her father. In the end, Zaylen does end up losing the weight and they eventually get divorced. Based on her new Facebook photos, Zaylen seems to have a new boyfriend and she looks happier without him. She can also play with her daughter at the park, something she was unable to do before. Betty Jo and Josh. Betty Jo was nearing 700 pounds when she was featured on the show. She recounted having had a traumatic childhood and that her weight ballooned after she had been sexually assaulted. Although Betty Jo was married to Josh, their relationship was more like that of caretaker and patient than husband and wife. They were unable to do a lot of things together, and intimacy was not possible due to her size. Josh's main role was to assist her with basic everyday tasks like bathing and wiping. So you would think that her resolve to lose weight and take control of her body again would come as a relief to the overworked Josh, but it was actually quite the opposite. The more weight Betty Jo lost, the more insecure and agitated Josh became, even storming out of their couples therapy session. Josh was extraordinarily insecure and feared that Betty Jo would leave him for someone else if she lost the weight. Instead of realizing that this is a chance you should take in order to do the right thing for your partner's sake, Josh preferred to put his own insecurities first. He even tells Dr. Now that seeing Betty Jo being able to do basic tasks without him really scares him.
I've noticed around the house, she don't need my help as much, or getting in and out of vehicles, she don't need my help as much.
Does that bother you that she doesn't need any of your help?
It's starting to, yeah. I'm starting to feel a little bit useless.
I think this is a good example of two broken people who have fallen into an unhealthy, codependent relationship. Betty Jo has a hard time being able to truly thrive because she knows her husband will feel threatened by that growth. She does end up losing around 200 pounds, and the two are still together and even share a son. We can only hope that Josh has grown since being featured on the show.